All right, what's good? What's good, man? Let's get into it. Let's talk about when your prime is over, man. And this is going to be the last basketball video, and then tomorrow will be a football video. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely want to touch on Kawhi Leonard, no Diddy, and touch in, just looking back at the playoffs this last year and this last season. And people, there's certain people who are done with Kawhi, saying Kawhi needs to retire. His knees are bad. He's horrible. He just can't play anymore. And there's other people saying, if he could just stay healthy, the Clippers can do this, the Clippers can do that, blase, blase. But after this whole Paul George going to the Sixers, Clippers, getting bounced in the first round, maybe his prime is over. Maybe Kawhi's just there collecting a paycheck. Has anybody ever thought about that? Let's be for real, man. Anybody who's watched Kawhi Leonard, we all know Kawhi, introvert. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, being an introvert. I'm an introvert myself. But Kawhi's an introvert. He doesn't really talk to anybody. Would it shock you if Kawhi retired before this season started? Would it shock you if Kawhi just called it quits before this season? Because I'm looking at it from this perspective. This might be a hot take. You know what I'm saying? And, I might title this, Why Kawhi Will Retire Before the NBA Season this year. There's nothing for him to play for. He's got his money. Kawhi Leonard's not the guy who wants the spotlight. He doesn't, he likes his peace. He likes his privacy, which all credit to him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Kawhi, I just, he might retire this season. He might retire in the offseason. He might pull Andrew Luck and just retire. Because now with Paul George gone, do you really think Kawhi Leonard knows hoops? He's not winning. They didn't get DeRozan. They didn't get Zach LaVine. They didn't get anybody to replace, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. Paul George. They didn't get anybody. James Harden's washed. I did a video on him. Go watch that. But I'm telling you, just now thinking about it, Kawhi Leonard might retire. He might actually retire. Don't be shocked if he retires before this NBA offseason. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see him. Why would he play? Kawhi doesn't care about the spotlight. He doesn't care about championships. He's a two-time champion, and I think he's won. Isn't Kawhi? He's been to the finals 3 times. He's won 2 of them. And hasn't Kawhi won 2 finals MVPs? Yeah, he did. He won one with the Raptors, one with the Spurs. He's won multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, anytime you're a Hall of Famer, you know what I'm saying, your autograph goes up, which means he can make money for the rest of his life not playing basketball anymore. He's pretty content where he is. He's a low-key guy. He doesn't live in some big house or whatever. He has a good, he doesn't need basketball anymore. Especially he can't even play anymore. And it's honestly kind of sad because I actually like Kawhi's game. He's more of a 90s player, play defense, get in the mid-range. He does have a 3-point shot, drive, post up. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't. Kawhi might retire, man. He might retire. And honestly, it's probably the best because I don't think Kawhi's in his prime anymore. I seen Kawhi play in that playoff game. I think his knees are done. I mean, we all know that his knees are done. He has this. When's the last time Kawhi stayed healthy? What, 2020? 4 years ago? The bubble? That's the last time this guy stayed healthy? Man, and I said, shout out to my boy Awesome Kid, who's a Raptors fan. I don't know if he's watching or not, but he should stay with the Raptors, bro. He would have had at least one more ring. He would have at least had one more ring if he would have stayed with the Raptors. Because at the end of the day, bro, they could have beat that Lakers team in 2020. They could have beat the Suns in 2021. They could have gave Golden State a run for their money, especially without Kevin Durant. Let's just say Kawhi Leonard stay with the Raptors. Who's beating them in the East alone? In the East, Awesome Kid. If you're watching this, I don't know if you're watching this, Awesome Kid, but anybody, who's beating the Raptors with a Kawhi Leonard, Nick Nurse team? Kyle Lowry would have stayed. Siakam would have stayed. They would have had the same team, and they would have added even more pieces. They would have added Scotty Barnes coming off the bench, Who can get you 19 points? Scotty Barnes right now is not even 20. He's not even 22. He's not even Ant's age. And he's giving you 20. He's giving you at least 19 to 20 points. They would have drafted him coming off the bench. Like, who's beating that Raptor? If Kawhi were to stay, who's beating them? He would have ran the East for a good 3 to 4 years until his knees gave out on him. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having choking Paul George, like, who's beating them in the East? Okay. Until Jalen Brunson comes to the Knicks in 2022, who's beating them? So that's like a 3 to 4 year stretch. And yes, I'm being biased because I'm a Knicks fan. And before Porzingis went to the Boston Celtics, so that's like a 2 to 3 year stretch where Kawhi could have went to the finals and maybe even won another one. Could have won another one and won another Finals MVP. He's not going to win an MVP because he don't play that many games and he's not interested in that. But listen, man. I mean, Kawhi, man, it's been a good run, but it might be time to go, bro. I mean, and listen, God bless you, Kawhi. You're a family man. You're a low-key guy. You don't need to have the spotlight on you at all times. You know what I'm saying? But it might be time to ride off in the sunset. You know, you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I just don't think he's in his prime anymore. Even Kawhi with good knees, I mean, are we sure he's in his prime? Can he still play defense? I mean, at some point, he's getting older. He's in his mid-30s. At some point, like, time is going to tick. Like, not everybody's a LeBron or a Tom Brady or, Aaron Rodgers to a certain extent. I know this is different sports. Or even like a Steph Curry. And the reason why Steph can last so long in the league is because, he's a shooter. Or even a KD to a certain extent. Because KD is still somewhat in his prime, even though I think he's on the downturn. He's still somewhat in his prime. But Kawhi's not even that. He can't even stay on the court. It would not shock me. Do not be shocked before the NBA offseason if Kawhi Leonard retires. Because looking at the Clippers team, like, what's the point of playing? The only point of playing is to win. He already has the money. He already has the championships. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. What else is there for him to do? And Kawhi's a smart guy. Looking at this roster, you lost Westbrook and you lost Paul George. Do you really want to run it back with James Harden? Come on, man. I mean, hey, man, it is what it is. That's my thoughts. What are yours? That's my hot take. I think Kawhi Leonard will retire this year. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I mean, once again, it's a hot take. You know what I'm saying? Before the season starts, I'm actually changing the title of this video right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's my thoughts. What are yours? RJ out.